Hello everyone, welcome to the Tristar Gym channel. Today's episode is on a takedown from the upper body clinch. Upper body clinching is super important whether you're defending yourself in the street, doing an MMA match, grappling match, or wrestling match. It's really important to learn how to clinch. And if you're a striker and you don't like to go to the ground and this and that, it's very important to know your clinching, because if you don't know your clinching, wrestlers and judokas and jiu-jitsu guys will just bring you to the ground way too easily. Okay. Now, me personally, I have a preference for single legs and double legs, but sometimes when you shoot your double legs, your opponent will sprawl you out, and all you're left with is upper body techniques. So you see here, I get sprawled out, and now I got to use my upper body tactics to get this fight to the ground. And I can also use my clinching techniques to break free if I want to continue with the striking. Okay, but if you don't know your upper body clinch techniques, you're gonna suffer against a wrestler or judoka. You know, it's just gonna be too difficult of a fight to win, because clinching happens. You know, you could be the most calculated striker, but eventually clinching does happen. If you watch Mayweather, Ali, all the greats, they all end up in the clinch eventually. Okay, so here we are. I did a knee bump video recently. There it is, and you should look for that in the tutorial. It's really important. But here comes the first technique that we're going to be learning for upper body takedowns. There it was, turn around, the slide by. Here it is again in slow motion. We're over under. I'm driving on the legs like I want to do a double. I'm going to spin and let my partner fall to the ground. This is a really beautiful technique. I use it a lot, and it's one of my favorite maneuvers to do after a failed double leg. Okay, so here's me. I'm going to be doing it real quick. I'm going to do a couple just so you guys can get a global view of what the technique looks like. And you should drill it till you can do it this smooth. You know, it's just a matter of coordination and having fun with it and drilling it until you get really comfortable doing this technique in a blink of an eye. You know, when your opponent gives you the correct reaction, it's time to shoot. Okay, so let's look at the footwork. Okay, real simple here. Let me just pause it real quick and show you. This is the key hand. So you have one hand on the lat here. Flip this around. Okay, so I have one hand on the lat. This hand right here is going to be pulling in this direction. Okay, so this hand, the lat pull, we call this a lat pull. My foot was here originally, and I stepped all the way over here. I parked my foot right here. Okay, so I have two opposing forces. Okay, let's make sure that you notice the arrow going in this direction, this arrow on the hand, I'm pulling this direction, and my body is spinning just like so. Okay, so that's the first step. I'm not going to do the level change right away. All I got to do is the turn. Okay, so I'm pulling on the lat, stepping, and turn my partner. Real simple stuff. My right hand is pulling on the lat, my left foot is stepping to the outside, and I'm creating a spin. Do this separately. You know, you don't want to do the level change right away. The level change will come after. Just do this spin a few times and get good at spinning and turning your opponent. Once you turn your opponent, you're flanking him. You're getting an angle on him. And once I get the slight angle that I need, I'll be able to level change. Now, the level change is a pretty easy technique, but some people have trouble with it because of the coordination it takes. Some people are just not comfortable falling. Okay, so let's look at that again. Watch here. I'm going to do the lat pull. I'm going to do the spin. Then all I got to do is drop all my body weight on his arm. So watch, we're pummeling. Upper body, and watch, I'm going to step. Now watch here, as I step, notice my opponent's arm here. Notice his arm. See this arm? This arm is in my way. It's in my way in a very important way, because his underhook here is stopping me. It's lifting me. He's got lift here. You know, when I'm trying to grab his leg, he's lifting me up with that arm. So I don't want to be able to lift me up with my arm. So I'm going to use my armpit here. You see this armpit here? I'm going to connect it to his wrist. Now if I drop all my body weight down here on top of his wrist, there's no man alive that can carry me this way. You know, his arm is going to fall. So once I drop my armpit here on his wrist, down, I'm going to go and glue his arm to his body here. Watch this. And now his arm is going to be in a very weak position. Okay, so let's see it. I drop my armpit right on his wrist. Look at my knees. They're off the ground. So he's carrying all my weight with his right arm there. I drop to my knees. I get elbow deep on his leg here. And now look, all my body weight is on the ground. He cannot lift me. And now I'm going to start to build. It's very important that I step up first with my left leg. If I stepped up with my right leg, you can grab my leg and lift it up and maybe switch and counter me, okay? So now I'm going to come up, watch my hips. My hips are going to come underneath his body and lift. Very important stuff, okay? Lift with your hips, not with your back. Here we go again. We're pummeling. I'm going to do the lat pull and turn, and I'm going to drop to my knees getting that angle. Now this just takes practice. You know, watch this video once, twice, take a few notes, and then it's all about the practice, guys. So watch this maybe once or twice more and you'll see it. Here it is again. Watch here. I'm driving like I'm doing a double leg. Okay, if you guys don't notice it here, I'm trying to pull this arm here. I'm trying to push him in this direction. My head is pushing in this direction. I'm trying to essentially do a double leg. You know, I'm trying to dump him right here. Now he's resisting. He's sprawling this leg back. See this leg right here? He's gonna sprawl it back. Now as he's trying to sprawl back, watch this. I'm just gonna go right into the lat pull. There's my right hand doing the lat pull. So I'm pulling on his lat. Here's the arm I'm gonna drop on. Now I do a variation of the leg work here. This is just me improvising, but because of the way his body was reacting, and that's all it is, you know, that's a slide by, turning the corner. We call it turning the corner or slide by. I know in the States they have different names for it, but in Canada we call it a slide by or turning the corner. Alright guys, that's it for this episode. There's plenty of upper body takedowns we're going to be covering in the future, and hopefully you guys give it a lot of likes and shares. Whatever you guys like and share the most is what I'm going to show more of, but I'm definitely going to keep this channel really well rounded, because for me this is a mixed martial arts channel that's built for everything. Okay, so please like, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next episode.